Maya stared at the elegant invitation in her hands, her stomach twisting into knots. The annual Thompson Family Christmas Gala. 3 weeks away. The event where her entire extended family would gather in their sprawling Connecticut estate, dressed in their finest, ready to judge every aspect of each other's lives. And this year, her cousin Jennifer had made sure to mention, repeatedly, that she'd be bringing her new fiancé, the investment banker. The one with the summer house in the Hamptons. Maya crumpled the invitation slightly, then smoothed it out again. She was 32, successful in her career as a senior marketing director, owned her own apartment in Manhattan, and had a life she was genuinely proud of. But somehow, none of that ever seemed to matter when she walked through those mahogany doors into her grandmother's mansion. What mattered was whether she had someone on her arm. The problem was Maya didn't. Not anymore. Not since Elena had walked out 6 months ago, claiming that Maya was married to her job and that she couldn't be with someone who didn't prioritize their relationship. The breakup had been messy, public within their friend group, and had left Maya questioning everything about herself. She tossed the invitation onto her desk and turned back to her computer screen, trying to focus on the campaign proposal due by end of day. But her mind kept drifting. Her family would ask. They always asked. Her grandmother would give her that look, the one that said, "When are you going to settle down?" Her mother would offer to set her up with the daughters of her book club friends. And Jennifer would smirk, victorious in her coupled bliss. Maya needed a solution, a shield, a buffer. She needed a date. The idea came to her suddenly, ridiculously, as she glanced up at the framed photo on her wall. The company's leadership team at last year's conference. And there, standing tall with that confident smile and impeccably tailored suit, was Victoria Chen, the CEO. Victoria Chen, who had founded their marketing firm 10 years ago and built it into one of the most respected agencies in New York. Victoria Chen, who was brilliant, charismatic, and intimidatingly beautiful. Victoria Chen, who Maya had worked with on exactly 3 projects and had maybe exchanged 20 conversations with, most of them about quarterly projections and client deliverables. It was insane. Completely insane. But as Maya sat there, the plan began to take shape in her mind. Victoria was professional, composed, exactly the kind of person who would impress her family. She was successful, respected, and would undoubtedly handle the Thompson clan with ease. And most importantly, Victoria owed her. Just last month, Maya had pulled off a miracle, landing the Rothstein account after their previous agency had dropped the ball. That account had brought in $2 million in revenue. Surely that was worth one evening of fake dating? Maya picked up her phone before she could talk herself out of it. Her fingers hovered over the email app, then she decided this required a more direct approach. She stood, smoothed down her blazer, and walked toward the elevator that led to the executive floor. The CEO's assistant, Marcus, looked up as Maya approached. "Maya, what brings you up here?" "I need 5 minutes with Victoria," Maya said, hoping her voice sounded steadier than she felt. "Is she available?" Marcus glanced at his screen. "She's got a call in 10 minutes, but she's free right now. Let me check." He picked up his phone, spoke quietly, then nodded. "Go ahead in." Maya's heart pounded as she walked through the glass doors into Victoria's corner office. The space was stunning, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Manhattan skyline, minimalist furniture, and a few carefully chosen pieces of modern art on the walls. Victoria looked up from her laptop, her dark eyes curious. "Maya, this is a pleasant surprise. Please sit." Maya sat in one of the leather chairs across from Victoria's desk, suddenly very aware of how ridiculous her request was about to sound. "Thank you for seeing me on short notice." "Of course. What can I do for you?" Victoria leaned back slightly, giving Maya her full attention. She was wearing a charcoal suit with a silk blouse underneath, her black hair pulled back in a sleek ponytail. She exuded the kind of effortless elegance that Maya had always admired from afar. "I have a proposition," Maya began, then immediately regretted her word choice. Actually, more of a request. A favor. Victoria's eyebrow arched slightly. "I'm listening." Maya took a breath. "I need a date to my family's Christmas gala. And before you say anything, I know how this sounds. But hear me out. My family is intense. Old money, traditional, very focused on appearances. And I'm the single one. The one they all pity and try to fix. And this year, my cousin is bringing her new fiancé, and I just can't show up alone again and endure another evening of well-meaning but suffocating concern about my love life. She paused, watching Victoria's expression, which remained neutral and professional. Encouraged by the lack of immediate rejection, Maya continued, "You'd be doing me an enormous favor. It's just one evening, December 21st, at my family's estate in Connecticut. We'd arrive together, make small talk, eat some food, and leave. I promise to be your buffer at the next 3 company events if you do this for me. I'll handle the Donovan pitch solo. I'll even organize the next team building retreat." Victoria was quiet for a moment, her fingers steepled under her chin. Maya held her breath. "Why me?" Victoria finally asked. "Surely you have friends who could do this. People you're actually close to." Maya felt her cheeks warm. "Because you're impressive. Because my family would be impressed. And because, honestly, because you're the kind of person who can handle anything, and my family is a lot. Plus, I thought maybe I'd earned a favor after the Rothstein account." A small smile played at the corners of Victoria's lips. "You're not wrong about that. That account was a game changer." She was quiet again, and Maya could practically see her weighing the pros and cons one evening. "Just playing the role of your girlfriend for a few hours." "Exactly," Maya said, relief flooding through her. "Nothing more. We'll establish a backstory, keep it simple. We'll say we've been dating for a few months, wanted to keep it private because of work, but decided it was time to make it public." Victoria stood and walked to the window, looking out at the city below. Maya watched her, this powerful woman who ran a multi-million-dollar company, and wondered what she was thinking. "December 21st, Victoria said finally, turning back to face Maya. "What time?" Maya blinked. "You're saying yes?" "I'm saying yes. But I have conditions." Victoria crossed her arms, and suddenly she was every bit the CEO again. 1. We prepare properly. I need to know about your family, their dynamics, potential sensitive topics. 2. You owe me. Not just the Donovan pitch or the team building retreat. A real favor, to be determined later. And 3. We keep this absolutely professional. It's a performance, nothing more." "Absolutely," Maya agreed quickly. "Of course. Just a performance." "Thank you, Victoria." "Seriously, thank you." Victoria extended her hand, and Maya shook it, trying to ignore the way her pulse jumped at the contact. "We'll meet before the event. Dinner, to discuss strategy. I'll have Marcus coordinate with you." As Maya left the office, walking back toward the elevator in a slight daze, she couldn't quite believe what had just happened. She'd asked her CEO to be her fake date to a family Christmas party, and Victoria Chen had said yes. What could possibly go wrong? The next 2 weeks passed in a blur of work and preparation. Maya and Victoria met twice for dinner, once at a quiet Italian restaurant in the West Village, and once at a wine bar near Victoria's apartment in Tribeca. The first dinner had been awkward, both of them treating it like a business meeting, with Maya providing a detailed breakdown of her family tree and Victoria taking actual notes on her phone. But by the second meeting, something had shifted. The conversation had flowed more naturally, drifting from family dynamics to shared experiences, favorite books, and travel stories. Maya learned that Victoria had grown up in San Francisco, the daughter of immigrant parents who'd built a successful restaurant from nothing. She'd put herself through business school, started the agency with money she'd saved from working 3 jobs, and still called her mother every Sunday morning without fail. Victoria learned that Maya had always been the artistic one in a family of lawyers and doctors, that she'd almost gone to art school before pragmatism won out, and that she still painted in her spare time, though she rarely showed anyone her work. "Why not?" Victoria had asked, swirling the Merlot in her glass. Maya shrugged. "I guess I'm afraid it's not good enough." Which is ironic, considering I make my living convincing people that things are good enough to spend money on. "I'd like to see your work sometime," Victoria said, and something in her tone made Maya believe she meant it. By the time December 21st arrived, Maya felt almost comfortable with the arrangement. They'd rehearsed their backstory until it felt natural. They'd started dating in September, after working late together on the Rothstein pitch. Victoria had been the one to make the first move, asking Maya to dinner under the guise of celebrating the win. They'd kept it quiet because they wanted to see if it was real before making it public at work. Simple, believable, and close enough to the truth to be easy to remember. Maya stood in front of her mirror, adjusting her dark green velvet dress for the 10th time. It was elegant but not too formal, with long sleeves and a modest neckline that she knew would please her grandmother. She'd kept her jewelry simple, just small gold earrings and a delicate bracelet. Her phone buzzed. Victoria, letting her know she was downstairs. Maya grabbed her coat and clutch and headed down, her heart doing an uncomfortable flutter in her chest. This was it. One evening of performance, and then her family would be satisfied for at least another year. The town car Victoria had arranged was waiting at the curb, sleek and black. The driver opened the door, and Maya slid in to find Victoria already there, and for a moment, she forgot how to breathe. Victoria was wearing a tailored black suit with subtle pinstripes, a burgundy shirt underneath, no tie. Her hair was down for once, falling in waves past her shoulders. She looked stunning, powerful, and completely at ease. "You look beautiful," Victoria said, and Maya felt her cheeks warm. "You look incredible yourself," Maya managed. "Thank you again for doing this." "We're in this together now," Victoria replied with a slight smile. "Ready to face the Thompson clan?" "As ready as I'll ever be." The drive to Connecticut took just over an hour, during which they ran through their backstory one more time, and Victoria asked strategic questions about which family members Maya was most concerned about impressing. By the time they pulled up to the circular driveway of the Thompson estate, Maya felt as prepared as possible. The house was exactly as Maya remembered it, a sprawling colonial-style mansion decorated within an inch of its life for Christmas. Lights twinkled from every window, wreaths hung on every door, and a massive tree was visible through the front windows of the main hall. "Wow," Victoria said softly as they got out of the car. "This is quite the setup." "My grandmother believes in tradition," Maya said. "And by tradition I mean excess." Victoria offered her arm, and Maya took it, grateful for the grounding presence. Together, they walked up the steps and through the front door, where Maya's mother was already waiting in the foyer. "Maya, darling." Her mother swept forward, enveloping her in a cloud of Chanel perfume and cashmere. "You're here. And you brought." She turned to Victoria, her eyes widening with recognition and approval. "Mom, this is Victoria Chen." "Victoria, my mother, Patricia Thompson." "Mrs. Thompson, it's a pleasure," Victoria said smoothly, shaking her hand. "Thank you for welcoming me to your beautiful home. Please call me Patricia. And the pleasure is ours. Maya's told us so much about you." She shot Maya a look that clearly said, "Why didn't you tell me sooner? Come in, come in. Let me take your coats." Everyone's in the main salon. As they handed off their coats and followed Patricia deeper into the house, Maya felt Victoria's hand settle on the small of her back, a gentle, protective gesture that sent warmth spreading through her. This is just an act, she reminded herself. Professional. A performance. The main salon was packed with Thompsons. Maya's grandmother held court near the fireplace, her aunt and uncle were debating politics by the piano, and her cousin Jennifer was showing off her engagement ring to a cluster of younger relatives. The room fell quiet as Maya and Victoria entered. "Everyone," Patricia announced, clearly delighted to have news to share. "This is Victoria Chen, Maya's girlfriend." The room erupted in greetings and questions. Maya's grandmother stood, her keen eyes assessing Victoria from head to toe. "Come here, child. Let me look at you." Victoria approached without hesitation, extending her hand. "Mrs. Thompson, it's an honor. Maya speaks very highly of you." "Does she now?" The old woman's eyes twinkled. "And what is it you do, Victoria?" "I run a marketing firm in Manhattan. Actually, Maya and I work together." "The CEO," Maya added, unable to keep the pride from her voice. "She founded the company." Her grandmother's expression shifted to something like respect. An entrepreneur. How refreshing. These days, everyone wants a trust fund and a title. Nobody wants to build something themselves. The evening progressed better than Maya could have hoped. Victoria was perfect, charming without being obsequious, professional without being cold. She fielded questions about their relationship with ease, made intelligent conversation about business and the economy with Maya's uncle, and even complimented Jennifer's ring with what seemed like genuine warmth. They were standing together near the dessert table, Victoria's hand resting casually on Maya's waist, when Maya heard a voice that made her blood run cold.
Maya?
Oh my God, Maya. She turned, and there, walking through the archway from the dining room, was Elena. Elena, her ex-girlfriend. Elena, who had broken her heart 6 months ago. Elena, who was supposed to be in Los Angeles with her new girlfriend, not here, at her family's Christmas party. What are you doing here? The words came out sharper than Maya intended. Elena looked exactly the same. Blonde hair in perfect waves, wearing a red dress that Maya recognized from their time together. Jennifer invited me. We've been friends forever, you know that. I thought enough time had passed that it wouldn't be weird. Her eyes shifted to Victoria. Curiosity and something else, maybe jealousy, flickering in them. And who's this? Maya felt Victoria's hand tighten slightly on her waist, studying. This is Victoria, my girlfriend. Victoria, this is Elena. We used to date.
Ah.
Victoria extended her free hand, her smile polite but unmistakably territorial. Nice to meet you. Elena shook her hand, her eyes darting between them. Girlfriend? That was fast. It's only been 6 months. Sometimes you know when something's right, Victoria said smoothly, and Maya felt herself lean slightly into Victoria's side, grateful for the support. Well, good for you, Elena said, but her tone suggested she didn't mean it. I'm here with someone too, actually. Melissa. Come meet Maya. A tall, athletic woman with short auburn hair approached, and Maya recognized her immediately. Melissa Grant, one of Jennifer's friends from college. A lawyer, if she remembered correctly, from one of those prestigious Manhattan firms. The 4 of them stood there in an awkward circle, and Maya wanted nothing more than to disappear. This was supposed to be simple. Show up with Victoria, impress her family, leave. Not run into her ex, and have to navigate this minefield. So how did you two meet? Elena asked, and there was something challenging in her tone. Since you work together, I assume? We were working late on a project, Victoria said, her voice warm as she looked down at Maya. I'd always noticed Maya, of course. She's brilliant at what she does. But that night, something just clicked. I asked her to dinner, and we've been together ever since. The way Victoria told it, the affection in her voice, the gentle way she was looking at Maya, it felt real. So real that Maya almost believed it herself. How lovely, Elena said, and it sounded like she was chewing glass. Maya, you always did throw yourself into your work. I'm glad you found someone who appreciates that about you. It was a dig, however subtle. A reminder of why they'd broken up, of all the times Elena had accused Maya of prioritizing her career over their relationship. I don't just appreciate it, Victoria said before Maya could respond. I admire it. Maya's dedication, her creativity, her work ethic, those are just a few of the things I love about her. She turned to Maya, and the look in her eyes made Maya's breath catch. I feel lucky every day that she said yes to that first dinner. Maya stared at Victoria, momentarily forgetting they were pretending. The words sounded so sincere, so heartfelt. And the way Victoria was looking at her, like she was something precious and valuable, it made Maya's heart ache with a longing she hadn't let herself feel in months. Well, Melissa said, breaking the tension, it sounds like you two are very happy. We should let you get back to enjoying the party. Come on, Elena. I want to say hi to Jennifer. As they walked away, Maya let out a breath she didn't know she'd been holding. Thank you, she whispered to Victoria. That was intense. Victoria supplied. I take it you didn't know she'd be here. I had no idea. Jennifer and Elena were friends, but I didn't think. God, This is a disaster. Hey. Victoria turned her so they were facing each other, her hands on Maya's shoulders. It's not a disaster. You're doing great. We're doing great. And she's clearly jealous, which means we're convincing. Maya laughed despite herself. You think? I know. Did you see her face when I talked about admiring your work ethic? That was the face of someone who realizes she made a mistake letting you go. Something warm bloomed in Maya's chest. You're really good at this. At what? The fake girlfriend thing. You're very convincing. Victoria's expression flickered with something Maya couldn't quite read. Am I? Before Maya could respond, Victoria's phone buzzed in her pocket. She pulled it out, glanced at the screen, and frowned. I'm sorry, I need to take this. Work emergency. Do you mind? Of course not. I'll be fine. Victoria squeezed her hand and stepped away toward the library, leaving Maya alone by the dessert table. She was reaching for a chocolate truffle when Elena appeared at her elbow. So, Elena said, her voice low. Victoria Chen, the CEO. Very impressive, Maya. What do you want, Elena? I just want to know if it's real. Because it seems awfully convenient, you showing up here with someone so perfect right when I happen to be here. Maya felt anger flare in her chest. Everything isn't about you, Elena. Yes, I'm with Victoria. Yes, she's amazing. And yes, I'm happy. Which is more than I was when we were together. Elena's eyes flashed. That's not fair. I tried with you, Maya. I really did. But you never made time for me. It was always work first, your career first, everything else second. Because I was building something. Maya's voice rose slightly, and she forced herself to lower it. I was trying to prove myself, to make something of my career. And you couldn't understand that. You wanted me to be available 24/7, to drop everything whenever you called. That's not a relationship, Elena. That's codependency. And what is it with Victoria? Tell me honestly, Maya. Is it real? Or is she just another accomplishment to check off your list? The successful CEO girlfriend to show off to your family? The accusation stung because it hit too close to home. This had started as exactly that, hadn't it? A fake relationship to impress her family, to avoid their pity and judgment. But somewhere along the way, something had shifted. Those dinners with Victoria, the easy conversation, the way she'd felt when Victoria looked at her, the warmth in Victoria's voice when she defended her to Elena. It's real, Maya said quietly, and as she said it, she realized it might actually be true. Not the relationship, not yet, but what she felt. The connection she'd felt with Victoria over the past 2 weeks, that was real. And the thought of going back to just being employee and boss after tonight, that made her chest ache. I hope so, Elena said, her voice softening slightly. I really do, Maya. You deserve to be happy. So do you, Maya replied, meaning it. Whatever had been between them, it was over, and holding on to anger served no purpose. Melissa seems nice. She is. Elena smiled, and for the first time that evening, it seemed genuine. I should get back to her. Take care of yourself, Maya. As Elena walked away, Maya felt something release in her chest. Maybe it was closure. Maybe it was just acceptance that that chapter of her life was truly over. Victoria appeared at her side a moment later. Everything okay? I saw you talking to Elena. Yeah, Maya said. Actually, I think it is. How's the work emergency? Handled. The Barcelona team had a question about the campaign launch, but it's sorted. Victoria studied her face. Are you sure you're okay? We can leave if you want. No, I'm fine. Actually, better than fine. I think I needed that. To face her, to realize that I really have moved on. Good. Victoria's hand found hers, their fingers intertwining. It should have felt awkward, this casual intimacy, but instead it felt natural.
Right.
So, should we go charm your grandmother some more? I think she likes me. Maya laughed. She definitely likes you. I think you might be the first person I've ever brought home that she's actually approved of. Fake girlfriend or not, I'm taking that as a win. The rest of the evening passed in a pleasant blur. They made their rounds, Maya introducing Victoria to aunts and uncles and distant cousins. They danced to the string quartet her grandmother had hired, Victoria leading with surprising grace. They posed for family photos, Victoria's arm around Maya's waist, both of them smiling. And through it all, Maya found herself forgetting that this was supposed to be fake. The way Victoria looked at her, the casual touches, the inside jokes they'd developed over the past 2 weeks, it all felt real. More real than her relationship with Elena had ever felt. It was nearly midnight when they finally said their goodbyes and made their way back to the car. Maya's grandmother pulled her aside at the door. "She's a keeper, Maya," the old woman said, patting her cheek. "Don't let this one get away." "I'll try not to," Maya promised, and meant it. In the car, they sat in comfortable silence for a while, watching the lights of Connecticut fade behind them as they headed back toward the city. Maya felt exhausted but happy, the evening having gone far better than she'd dared hope. "Thank you," she said finally. "For tonight. For everything. I know this was asking a lot, and you handled it perfectly." Victoria turned to look at her, the passing streetlights casting shadows across her face. "Maya, can I be honest with you about something?" Maya's heart started to pound. "Of course." "Tonight wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Playing your girlfriend, I mean, it felt natural. Easy." Victoria paused, seeming to gather her courage. "Maybe too easy." "What do you mean?" "I mean that somewhere between you walking into my office with this crazy proposal and tonight something changed. Those dinners we had, getting to know you, seeing how brilliant and funny and passionate you are about your work and your art." "Maya, I don't think I was pretending tonight." Maya stared at her, afraid to believe what she was hearing. "You weren't."
No.
"And when I saw Elena trying to make you feel small, trying to diminish what you've accomplished, I wanted to defend you. Not because it was part of the act, but because you deserve to be defended. To be celebrated." Victoria reached out, tucking a strand of hair behind Maya's ear. "I like you, Maya. Really like you. And I know this started as a favor, as a performance, but I don't want it to end tonight." Maya felt tears prick her eyes. "I don't want it to end either. I've been trying to tell myself it was all fake, that I was just grateful for your help, but Victoria, when you held me tonight, when you looked at me, I felt something I haven't felt in a long time. Maybe ever." "So, what do we do?" Victoria asked, her voice soft. "Because I'm aware of the complications. I'm your boss. There are HR policies. I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position." "We figure it out," Maya said firmly.
We do this right.
"We report it to HR. We keep it professional at work. We don't let it affect the team or the company. But we give this a real chance. Because I think this could be something special." Victoria smiled, that brilliant, genuine smile that transformed her whole face. "I think so too. Can I kiss you?" Maya asked. "For real this time, not for show?" "I thought you'd never ask." Maya leaned in, and their lips met in a kiss that was nothing like the fake, performative gestures they might have shared in front of her family. This was real, deep, filled with promise and possibility. When they finally pulled apart, both of them were breathless. "Wow," Victoria whispered. "That was—" "Yeah," Maya agreed. "It really was." They spent the rest of the ride back to the city holding hands, making plans for a real first date. Not a strategy session, but an actual date where they could focus on each other without family drama or fake backstories. Victoria suggested a gallery opening on Friday, followed by dinner at a new fusion restaurant in Brooklyn. Maya suggested Sunday brunch and a walk through Central Park, even though it would be cold. "We'll do both," Victoria decided. "And everything in between." When they finally reached Maya's apartment building, Victoria walked her to the door. "I had a great time tonight," Maya said. "Even with the Elena surprise." "Especially with the Elena surprise," Victoria corrected. "It gave me the chance to realize what I was feeling. To stop hiding behind the excuse that this was all pretend." They kissed again, slow and sweet, until the doorman very obviously cleared his throat. "I'll call you tomorrow," Victoria promised. "Sleep well, Maya." "You too, Victoria." Maya floated up to her apartment, her heart so full she thought it might burst. She'd gone to that party dreading every minute, armed with a fake girlfriend to shield her from her family's judgment. But she'd left with something real, something that had the potential to be extraordinary. She thought about Elena's words, about whether Victoria was just another accomplishment to check off her list. But that wasn't it at all. Victoria wasn't a trophy or a shield. She was a partner, someone who understood Maya's ambitions because she shared them, someone who celebrated Maya's success instead of resenting it. For the first time in months, maybe years, Maya felt hopeful about the future. Not because she'd found someone to complete her, she was already complete, but because she'd found someone who complimented her, who made her want to be even better than she already was. Her phone buzzed with a text from Victoria. "Already missing you. Friday can't come soon enough." Maya smiled and typed back. "Same. Thank you for being my fake date. And for wanting to be my real one. Best favor I ever agreed to," came the reply, followed by a heart emoji. Maya laughed and set her phone down, already looking forward to Friday, to Sunday, to all the days that would come after. Sometimes the best things in life came from the most unexpected places. Sometimes a desperate plan to impress your family turned into something genuine and beautiful. And sometimes, just sometimes, the fake date turned out to be the real deal. Maya went looking for a fake girlfriend to get through one difficult evening and ended up finding something real with the last person she expected. What did you think of the story? Do you think Maya and Victoria will make it work, balancing their professional and personal lives? And what would you have done if you were in Maya's position? Would you have asked someone to be your fake date, or would you have just faced your family alone? And if you were Victoria, would you have said yes to such an unusual request? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever been in a situation where something that started as fake or convenient turned into something real and meaningful? Let's talk about it.